Anak kita tak payah. That's your car, you buy yourself. So actually sekarang ni kita ni, we actually spoil our children. You better marry the right woman. Very important. I'm not a believer of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. The big players let you down. Tak ada plan lah kot. You just plan that you have food on your table.
Assalamualaikum and welcome back to Cerita. So I think this is our 5th or 4th episode already, and today I think we are super lucky because we are going to be with a legend in Malaysia. So as you guys know, selalunya I akan ada my partner Ishraq kat sini, but this week dia decided untuk tinggalkan I sorang-sorang. Tapi tak apa, nanti kita tinggalkan dia balik kan. Alright, so I think the guest yang kita ada hari ni, for me personally, I sangat honoured lah to have him here because he's been someone yang I look up to for a long time. And recently, I think about last year, I got a chance to meet him, and Alhamdulillah masa tu Datuk bagi I dia punya card, and from there Alhamdulillah today he agreed to be our guest. So just a little background about this person that I'm talking about. Basically, the brand started in 1957 during Merdeka, and dekat satu negeri bernama Kelantan. Even though he was from Penang, tapi I think they move, or maybe we can hear his story later, macam mana dia boleh tiba-tiba sampai ke Kelantan. And from a humble beginning, a small wooden shop, jual toys dan juga general goods, and today they have about 68 stores, and which is one of the largest halal homegrown company in the retail industry. So you guys boleh agak tak which company it is? This company is a true masyarakat company because they went through it all, from Malaysia independence, up and down of the economy, and paling recent, the COVID. A true marketer and adapts to current trends, pick up all the social media traits, very active even on TikTok, even more active than myself. Dan beliau juga sebelum ni adalah seorang banker, kan, and a graduate from US, from Michigan, a philanthropist and a true visionary. Please welcome Datuk Wira Ameer Mydin. So Datuk, thank you so much Datuk.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Thank you. So Datuk, I think I want to start off by asking you a bit about your childhood, Datuk. How was your childhood?
Well, I think we all grew up in different ways in ourselves. Because when we were small, obviously we were very poor. Memang betul-betul miskin lah. Kata miskin lah tu. I mean, miskin tu, how poor is it? Come on lah, poor tu betul ke ni? You know? Sebetulnya poor ni because bila kita makan, I still remember makan tu, satu toko ikan, 7 orang anak dengan mak bapak sekali. So my mother will bagi the one fish tu, bagi 7 orang, mak bapak I think makan kari, dengan kari adalah. So this is how tough it was. Dan kita belajar in terms of how you get the extra. Maknanya contohnya kalau sekarang ni kita pergi kedai mama nak beli, you ask your son or your whatever, pergi beli lauk ikan, 2 toko ikan. Dia ambil 2 toko ikan, masuk plastik bag satu, pak, ni beli kan. My father no. Kalau nak beli ikan 2 toko, asingkan. 1 toko ikan, 1 toko, pack separately. They say, why you waste plastic? You see? Now we say, why you waste plastic? But those days, no, dapat kuah lebih. The kuah is more important than the fish. Because kan kita ramai. Yalah. So kalau kita makan 7 orang nasi tu, 7 orang nasi tu dah makan, lepas tu kalau ada kuah lebih, esok boleh makan dengan roti. So your breakfast also is sorted out with that one type of fish only, you see. So you learn these things when you are young. So tough. And more so bila pergi sekolah pun, when I went to standard 1, I still remember, my father never give me money. There's no pocket money. And kita ada kedai mainan. My father never gave money. You learn entrepreneurship when you are young. Maknanya I think maybe this beyond your age, but maybe your father would know. Dulu kita ni main askar. The green soldier, main tembak-tembak tu kan. Dalam satu paket tu ada 10 askar. So my father used to sell this in the shop, my shop. Dia kata, nak duit kan? Ni askar satu paket. Ada 10 askar. Pergi kat
Sekolah.
pergi jual. So satu askar tu dia satu paket RM1. Satu askar tu 10 sen. So bila saya pergi jual tu 20 sen. Dapat 10 sen.
Untung
So,
dah.
10 tu dapat RM1. So bila balik rumah tu dah jual. Dapat RM1, dapat RM2 lah kan. Dia kata mana duit RM1 tu? Modal kena bagi balik. So actually sekarang ni kita ni we actually spoil our children. Actually say, are you going to buy me something? So you ask your son or your friend or your parents, say, okay, buy me coffee or something. Then he give you RM50 note. Then you come back, Pak, dah beli dah. Simpan je lah. Oh, my father never. 10 cent give me back. You know. So you learn this when you are young. The value of money, entrepreneurship. Even now, I notice bila kita employ people, budak-budak cashier kita, bila dia jadi cashier kan, so the cashier is collecting money, 5,000, 10,000, dia nak kira duit tu, dia nak bagi balik, dia kena kira 3 kali, takut nak kira duit tau, because they are not used to money. Kita ni budak-budak ni dah pandai kira. It's because bila kita balik, my father bila balik rumah, balik rumah tu atas bawah je.
Oh, kedai bawah, atas rumah.
Atas rumah. In Kota Baru, that's how we stay. Atas rumah. So bila dia bawa balik duit, the day's business, dia akan buang duit tu atas katil. Semua 7 orang tu duduk kira duit. Kira duit. So kita belajar bila kita kerja, macam mana nak kira duit, macam mana nak atur duit. Oh, the kepala, the Agong punya kepala kena one side merah, lepas tu 10 tu kena, lepas tu dah 100 kena ikat getah. So kita dah biasa dengan duit, biasa dengan kira duit. Dan bila kita kira duit tu, kita dapat 10 sen.
Oh, dapat juga.
Dapat 10 sen. Tapi 10 sen kita tak dapat. Kena bawa tabung kat depan dia, masuk dalam tabung.
Oh, so duit untuk simpanan pula lah.
Simpanan. So I think these things you learn. Pada masa tu kita marah lah. 10 sen pun tak dapat. Kedekut lah all these things. But as you grow, you know why. And teaching you certain things in terms of your savings is important. Learn, work for what you earn. Nothing is free. There's no free lunch kind of thing, So I think this is important.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people would think that, your father being a businessman, you pun tak adalah childhood you susah sangat. But then now you're telling me that actually your childhood was quite tough. Meaning Mydin at that time wasn't doing that well lah.
You see, dia kedai kayu bermula pasar malam. Belum pasar malam. So kita ni jual kat pasar malam. I remember my brother and myself pergi jual kat pasar malam, kat jual pasar malam toy, kita jual RM2-3 kat pasar malam, kat Padang Ledo tu, so kat Kelantan kan, kita Kelantan belakang, so Kelantan belakang, so kita tahu lah nak jual kat pasar malam macam mana. So the thing is, so you grew up with that. Nak kata kaya tak kaya, tapi as we grew up, of course cukup makan lah, cukup makan. Tapi bila belajar, pergi sekolah, we didn't have any scholarship, so my father had to finance me initially. Orang ramai tak tahu, pun kata saya belajar, like you mentioned, graduated from university from Western Michigan. Actually I went to India. I was to be a doctor. Pasal zaman dulu tu semualah anak doktor, lawyer je. I guess influence from the parents, especially you are a science student, you do well in sciences, so that is your thing those days lah. So went to India to do, but then I got an offer to do degree in US, at Western Michigan University. I think those days, if you get a chance to go to US, like now you can go to the moon lah.
Yeah. Bukan senang lah.
These days people go fly off US like yesterday and come back tomorrow kan. But those days is like going to US is going to the moon, is it? I didn't want to miss the opportunity, so went to US. Mara sponsored me most of the time for bachelor's and for master's. So lucky lah, But interestingly, when we see that, people would not know, seriously, that I never went for the graduation.
Oh, why?
I got an offer for a job at Arab Malaysian Merchant Bank. So the offer of the job was you start on katalah 2nd of January or something like that. And the graduation was on 5th of January. So at that time I was already married with my wife. So marah lah. Apa ni, takkanlah tak ada satu gambar kan dapat, I have my bachelor's but I don't have my master's, you see. Until now my wife reminds me, I don't have that. But she's lucky lah, now she got PhD, so dia kata tak apalah tu.
Dia ada PhD?
Yeah, my wife got PhD. But the more important thing is that because kita dapat kerja, you got the job. It's matter of
priority lah, I guess.
at that time to seriously tell you how poor, even when I was studying, even when I got married, seriously, for the wedding when I went, my shoe had a hole, inside. I mean, don't have money to buy a new pair of shoes, so that was what we went through. So my wife definitely didn't marry me for money. Because I had no money. Had no money at all. Now people say, "Oh, you're so lucky." Whatever. I say, I don't think so lah.
At that time
wasn't that way lah. We married probably for love. I hope lah, for love. But I think it's important. I always say this, that as you grow and you marry somebody, male or female, you better marry the right woman. Very important, because I think that woman or that man, without that support, I don't think you can be successful. Because for me, for my wife, she's of course, the mother of our children. Nak masak lagi. Dia buat dia PhD lagi. Dia pun a working woman.
Oh, she worked. She worked kat mana?
Yeah. She was a lecturer. Before. Of course, after that she joined Mydin.
Oh, now she's with Mydin.
She's with Mydin, but she was a lecturer before. At UPM. Then she did a master's in a PhD in UM. You see. So, and education is. So she had got her own job to do lah. I mean, dia bekerja lah kan. You are working and whatever. You have to be responsible for what you do. But balancing that life, the sacrifice. I think sacrifice. Because kita ni orang meniaga buka kedai. I was in Masjid India and all that. Pergi pagi, balik malam, tak tahu apa jadi kat rumah. Balik makan pagi pergi. Anak besar dah. Bila tengok tu anak tu dah besar lah.
But she was the one who does a lot of things for you at home lah masa tu.
I think the sacrifice a woman does for the family is always underrated. We tend to forget. That's why I always tell people that your mother very important. Your mother, your father of course is important. Your mother is very important. Those who have mothers who are alive, don't forget to see them lah. Every day if possible. I stay with my mother.
Oh yeah?
I stay with my mother. We stay one floor up and down. I stay one floor up. My mother.
Did you move with your mother or your mother move with you?
No. I asked my mother, my parents to move together, because as parents age, seriously. But you give them independence. Maknanya kita atas bawah lah. Satu rumah tu maybe difficult because dia orang tua ni pun dia buat independent. They have their own thing.
Betul.
So when my father was alive, they moved, but we stayed one floor up and down. That way we can see them and manage them also, health-wise, very important. But I think it's important that you see your parents every day, and that when you do that, when you see your mother and your father every day, then your son and your son will come and see you every day, because you are teaching them the same thing. You don't expect, anak saya tak datang jumpa saya ni, macam mana budak ni? Yalah, tak datang. But do you visit your mother every day also? Of course, some of us work different state, different places. There are some challenges, but you can always call.
Betul.
Boleh call kan. I mean, nak call girlfriend hari-hari, 3 kali sehari, tak lepas 1 jam sekali kan. Mak 5 minit, 10 minit aja. Mak nak tanya apa lagi? Sehat tak?
Dah makan.
Dah makan ke? Makan apa? Itu
mana,
aja. Buat apa? Saya sakit lutut hari ni. Allah, mak terjatuh pagi tadi. Kind of thing, So I think those small things are important. That love and that support. You'll be surprised, because that kind of emotional support is very important as you grow up. I think you become bigger and more maybe financially better, whatever. But that family support, that friends that you have, is very important in your upbringing. Who you mix it is also very important. Your friends are very important. I mean, I remember my friend when I was in school. Pandai-pandai belaka. They were brilliant.
So you stay around with people who are smarter.
I mean, maybe it's not the plan thing. Kadang-kadang kita pun tak tahu. But the thing is that you are a good student. You are in the A class. Those days kan A, B, C kan. Sekarang by color pula pun. Kita pun dah tahu dah mana A, B, C. But you go. You are in class A. Then you study hard. Your friends are there. Because you study together with your friends. You know. Multiracial friends. Which is very important. I think we lose that connectivity, the culture, if we go to certain schools that are only of one race. I think very important. And I think our education, of course, has to change to go that way lah. Where we grew up together not knowing that one is the Chinese, one is the Malay, one is the Indian. Tak terfikir pun, you know. And I think even now among friends, many of us don't even realize, you know. Only politicians remind us that who you are and you ni Melayu tahu, you ni India tahu. I think forgetting that, I think from the business perspective, looking at entrepreneurship, it's all business. It's all business. All business, yeah.
Okay, so I just nak tanya sikit about your relationship with your father. How was your relationship with your father and possibly also your brothers? Because I think you are doing business with your brothers also now, right?
Correct.
They are part of the board of director and stuff. So maybe you can share a bit about your relationship with your dad and also your siblings.
I think with that, of course, as a mentor, but it's very strict father. I think we hardly talk to our father, talk to mother lah, mak ada lah, then cubit pun mak lah, tampal pun mak kan, because I think that is the housewife those days. Although my mother also used to help my father downstairs in the shop, because those days kan. But my father we hardly see him obviously, but very disciplined until he's never late. He gets very angry. I
guess that's why you also came 1 hour early for this interview.
I say bad habits. But I think discipline is very important. He's a very disciplined man, you know. I mean, even though dia discipline maknanya kan, I mean, as he grow older, whatever, dia makan nasi pun just satu mangkuk tau. Dia ambil cawan, masuk. You boleh bagilah kari, masak ikan, masak pedas ke apa yang sedap sekalipun, that one rice that he's going to have. Kalau you bagi dia durian pun, kalau dia nak 2 ulas tu, dia akan makan 2 ulas je. Kalau kita ni kan, sedap ni makan, tambah sikit, that kind of thing kan. No discipline. Very disciplined. And he will do his walk and he...
Very fit lah. He's very fit.
Fit. Much slimmer than me. Fit. I mean, fit, I think is one thing, but of course, the normal diabetes lah, semua ada lah, you know, whatever. But the main thing is that discipline. Very punctual, honest, integrity, humility. Dia tak marah. Dia marah ke anak dia je lah. Kat luar, he's not known to be hot-tempered or whatever. And until only after he passed away, I realized, because bila people come and say, oh, you know that your father paid for my education, kat India lah, kat Pakistan lah. Dia banyak tolong, tapi kita tak tahu lah because father kan. Kita bukan nak tanya dia kan. Later only then we know that, I say, oh my God, he's been doing this, been doing that, and then we try to continue lah, because those are poor people where they are, you see. So he does this, and he does it without publicity. That is very important. I always tell people, you do good things. It's good that you do good things. But if you're going to go in the front page of a star or newspaper and have that big thing there, hey, $1 million, you know, I mean, you're doing that for what? So the value of what you're giving is gone. You want to give. And I think it's very important to give. Charity is very important. I think we all have been taught as a good Muslim to always give. And $1 million, $1, it doesn't matter the amount. You can't give anything bagi doa lah kan. You know, that is very important. But mentioning about my father, my mother, of course, my brothers, the strength.
You are number berapa Datuk in the family?
Kalau family tu nombor 3.
Nombor 3.
Nombor 3. So I have my elder sister, my elder brother, myself, my another brother, then my sister. We are 7 of us. Tapi all the 3 of course married, and the sisters are all there. But the brothers are all together.
All together in this
All together in the same business. So they are the real the people in Mydin lah. I mean, with due respect, I'm only the face. That's the face. Keluar dalam buku ke, keluar artikel ke, you panggil interview ke. But the real people who run the business is my elder brother and my 2 younger brothers. They ada orang kata chef.
Oh, okay.
Tukang masak. Kalau tukang masak tak sedap, restoran kena tutup ni kan.
Yeah.
So these are the chef.
So you adalah orang yang panggil orang datang makan.
More the PR side, maybe because I was in the bank before. I have some corporate knowledge. So that kind of things lah, But I think without them, I don't think Mydin would be where. I would say very strongly, Mydin is there not because of me. Mydin is there because of my brothers. And of course their wife. The support of their wife. Never forget. I mean, my elder brother, my sister-in-law, worked all her life. Only now dia tak pergi kedai, dah tua dah ni kan. Lebih pada umur 70 dah. But those days she was there. Even my younger brother's wife, they were all working in the shop, helping, because those days families is labor lah, free labor orang katakan, free labor. So they all work
hard. And I think customer also appreciate when they know, ni family Mydin ni datang turun padang kan.
Turun padang. Yeah, I mean those days seriously it's free labor lah, free labor. And also because bila kita jaga kedai, kita kena tinggal kedai, nak tinggal dengan siapa lagi kan. So you have your wife or your mother or your sister-in-law managing. And as we open the shops kan, kat sini kat sana, so we have the wife to help. And of course now the children have come in. Not my children. My eldest brother's sons are together. My younger brother's son, one of them is together. My another younger brother together. So the children are there. But very important. The children are there. But it's also very important that when you have a family together, you makan together.
Eat
it's very
together.
important.
Literally
Literally makan together. So we actually have lunch together almost every day.
Oh wow.
So kita kat Subang ni, all of us Subang. So we have a room. Kita panggil penthouse lah, tapi bukan really penthouse, just a table there. A table and a room kalau kita nak semayang lah. Macam tu ada satu tempat panggil penthouse tapi banyak sampel-sampel barang dalam tu. Barang semua berselerak semua kan. But we have lunch there. So those who are around will come for lunch there. So my wife will, from my house, I'll bring lunch for 2 people, for example. My other brother will bring lunch for 2 people. Yang muda-muda maybe tak bawa lunch kot, So kita makan-makan sekali. But I think it's very important that so-called 1 hour together. Because many things, you sort things out that way. Apa lagi pergi buat macam tu? Ini you turun harga buat apa? Or you naik harga buat apa? Why? What happened? Or why didn't you do this? You sort it out. Daripada marah dalam email lah, you burn inside. That is very difficult. But I think it's important in family that you divide properly. Maknanya seorang tu buat kerja-kerja lain-lain, so that you don't get into each other's heads lah. That's one. But everybody gets paid the same salary.
Everybody?
Me,
your brothers and you lah.
My eldest brother and me and my 2 youngest brothers, although age differential can be 20 years, but we all get paid the same. My nephews all get paid the same. One can be 50, one can be 35. I think sometimes I say that's fair. In family, that's fair.
Fair.
You treat everybody equally, and everybody gets a salary, and that's it. Your wife wants to go with you somewhere, you better pay for it. You kata, otherwise, you pergi kat China, dia bawa, abang you bawa isteri, you tak bawa ke? nak ikut-ikut lah, kena bayar sendiri.
Company tak ada bayar?
Tak, company tak nak bayar. Because you see, you do that way. That's discipline. Everybody comes in punch card. Nak cuti semua isi borang. You know, MC sama 14 hari ke berapa hari. So I think that way everybody is equal.
Fair lah, fair treatment.
It's fair. You nak beli barang, you pay for it. No abuse. Kan say, saya tu okay lah, saya nak ambil barang apa. Takkan saya pula nak bayar kan. Of course, I pay you a salary. Everything else is open. Everybody same car.
Oh, semua kereta pun sama? Tapi kalau macam anaknya, anak punya level?
Anak punya level, no, anak kita tak bayar. That's your car, you buy yourself. You get the salary, you pay.
Tunggu time lah.
That is up to, at the moment, for us is, we paid you a good salary, you sort out your cars lah. Anak-anak ni satu nak Volvo, satu nak simpan duit lebih, nak pakai Proton, up to you lah. Up to you, we leave it to you. The brothers, we all have the same cars, you know. But my younger brother has a more sportier car. But the budget is always the same.
So you would say your relationship with them are close lah?
I would say very, very close.
Kan?
Very, very close.
Was it always like that since you were young, or masa dah besar baru you develop this type of relationship?
I think as we are now, as we are young, you seriously I can't remember, you know. Tapi more of children fighting each other, brothers fighting, getting each other's nerve bergaduh aja, kan, you know. But my eldest brother lah was the main supporter, the pillar there, because he left early, supported my father early in business. When I was studying, he was the one spending the money. You know, I think that his sacrifices, I think, is the most lah.
So Datuk, I just nak faham sikit kan, macam masa you kecil tu, the business wasn't doing that well kan? So masa you guys masuk tu dah start okay dah?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that because those days kita shop lot, kedai di Kota Baru. We only had 2 shops. So, satu di Kota Baru, and then after that, my eldest brother opened a smaller shop.
Oh, your eldest brother did that?
Opened a shop in Kuala Terengganu. So my father opened in Kota Baru, right? Then my eldest brother opened a second shop in Kuala Terengganu. So when I was working in the bank for about 8 years, after I left the bank, I opened the third shop in Mydin, India. The shop in Mydin is smaller than your studio. Smaller than your studio, okay? So that was the shop in Mydin, India.
That was the third shop?
That was the third shop, okay. And
that was yours? That was, you were the one who
I opened the third. But still, nama tu Mydin lah. The owners are all the brothers.
And at that time, you still sold toys?
I know, a bit more. I think at that time, not so much on toys, more on handbag, tali pinggang, pin baju, those kind of normal daily requirement. I think this is where. Then after, from there too, we opened the next shop. So it grew.
Okay, so maybe lepas ni I nak go deeper into that. But for now, I nak pergi belakang sikit to your study punya time Datuk. Kan, you were, like you said just now, you mentioned briefly you were sent to Michigan kan. Maybe you can tell us a bit about the story of how did you get the offer, and then macam mana Mara boleh sponsor. At first you said mak bapak punya duit, and then you know how did this whole thing came about?
When I initially went, it was my parents who,
to India
to India, my parents. To US also, the first 1 year was also by my parents. Susah tu. To this US dollar, although put 2.5 aja.
Oh, that time 2.5 only?
2.5. But still it was tough. Because just having a shop in Kota Baru, sending a son to US is not difficult. But I got lucky because maybe the results were a bit better than normal. Mara offered a loan, not a scholarship.
Loan.
A loan to me. Loan to me. My wife was on a scholarship. Dia tu maybe pintar sikit lah. She a bit more brilliant lah. That girl is brilliant lah, you know. So I got a loan, and then we finished. We came back. We paid off our loan.
Oh, it was a loan. It wasn't even a scholarship.
Mine was a loan. My wife was a scholarship, but I paid off. we paid it off. We paid it off much earlier because bila dah kerja tu dah okay, dah bersyukur alhamdulillah, both of us were working. And then we check marah berapa ribu, tak tahu lah, tak ingat berapa ribu dah, kata bayar je lah. You know, I think it's important bayar hutang dia. Jangan hutang ni orang tak halal ni tak berkat nanti. And I think we should always pay because from that money that you pay back, marah can use to help others kan.
Faham?
I don't understand why ramai yang dah
Sebab dia ingat duit kerajaan kot tu.
Yalah, but there's a limit to everything. Tapi you ambil hutang kan, kerajaan ke, you ambil hutang pada kerajaan ke, ambil hutang pada kawan ke,
Hutang is hutang.
Hutang is hutang. You bawa sampai mati hutang tu tau. Ya. And then kalau tak dihalalkan, you tanggung berat tu. Tanggungan tu berat. So it's very important that kita bayar hutang tu. And I find obviously during COVID for example, ramai yang susah kan. Tak boleh bayar hutang. I always tell people, we also had a lot of problem during COVID kat Mydin kan. Pick up that phone. Talk to your supplier. Siapa you hutang. I think people understand. But pick up that phone. Don't pick up the phone. You know? Kita ramai ni, alamak, dia lagi. Alah, bila nak bayar? Don't pick up. Then you lose the trust. And then you pick up the phone and say, sorry lah, maybe next week or maybe next month. But this is how I can do. I cannot pay you the 100, but I can pay you the 10. I think people appreciate that more. Because next time if you need, they know that, this guy, whatever happened, has paid. Bayar. Very important.
So maybe Datuk you can tell also about the story dekat US ni. How was you as a student? Adakah Datuk ni student yang pandai, yang rajin, ataupun student yang main-main ke? How were you as a student? I'm curious to know, Datuk.
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't a naughty type lah.
You were?
I was not.
Oh, was not. Okay, that's fortunate, Datuk.
I happened to be a studious person lah. Even when I was young, I was a prefect in school. The bell ringer. I mean, you don't know that those days, dia tak ada loceng kat sekolah tau. So I was given the chance to go and I can ring the bell. When you have a break kan, recess kan, kena ring the bell. Every period kan, 40 minutes, I have to ring the bell. That requires a lot of discipline. Because your friend, cepatlah tu, dah masa dah tu, go and ring the bell lah. Semua nak balik awal, you know, but you, another 30 seconds to go.
No, ikut betul lah.
Ikut. But that makes you disciplined.
Faham?
That makes you disciplined that, you know, this is it. So bila kat US pun, I think, I mean, I wouldn't say I was a 4-point student lah, tak lah. Tapi tak lah teruk sangat. I think my wife was much better, obviously lah.
But did you guys study together? Did you guys go at the
different
same time?
different field, but we were jatuh cinta kat US lah.
Oh, Michigan jugalah.
Kat Michigan.
She was in the same uni.
Same uni. She was sent by Mara. I was already there. I was maybe 6 months or 1 year senior, something like that. I pergi kat airport ambil dia. Tak tahulah lepas tu nak jadi apa. But those days, biasalah because you are the seniors, you go and pick up. Mara will tell you bring them, you know, and then you bawa dia pergi kat Kmart lah, pergi beli. Tell them where to buy, what to buy, you know, student kan. Pergi bawa supermarket ke dormitory, the first year orientation kind of thing. Pergi dating kot. But that's how we met. Then after the bachelor's, we came back to Malaysia. We got married. Then we went back to do masters, which is not allowed actually if you're under scholarship. But kita kahwin senyap-senyap lah.
Oh, kahwin senyap-senyap.
Kahwin
tak bagi tahu marah lah.
Tak bagi tahu marah aja, jahat sikit.
Sekarang marah kalau tengok dia orang tak marah rasanya.
Jangan tak apa. But I mean the thing is, it is better to get married because.
And what was your age at that time when you got
very
married?
young. Very young. I think I was hardly 22, 24, very young. I mean, those days kata, muda ni yang kahwin. But I guess we were ready for it. And we wanted to go to another place to save cost kot.
Dekat US juga?
Dekat US kan. Otherwise, you pay double semua. So when we went to US, we were in Sonoma State University in San Francisco. Dekat, just an hour away. better weather lah. Dah letih kat Western Michigan, snowstorms lah, your blizzards, whatever it is.
Oh, cuaca dia teruk lah.
Horrible weather. So then we went back. Bila kita balik, kita pergi ke San Francisco lah. A different environment. Nice place. US is always nice to study because they allow you that depth. Can you have your degree, your other thing. Education is always good. Of course, now kita banyak anti-US lah, but for different reasons. But education-wise, they give you that flexibility.
Yeah, I think a lot of successful people also yang otai-otai ni banyak pergi belajar kat US, kat West Michigan pun ada few that I know of also. Right. So I think that was not apa kata, kalau masuk jalan tu insyaAllah you jadi orang berjaya lah kan.
I think I mean when I was in Western Michigan, seriously, there were only 50 of us.
Malaysian,
yeah. And when we left, there were more than 250, and later it went up to maybe 400-500.
Oh, banyak.
So I was also the president of the Malaysian Student Organisation.
Dekat US, Michigan.
Dekat US lah. So
mungkin now I want to move forward to the Malaysian Arab Bank or was it AmBank?
Arab Malaysian
Bank punya story lah pula. So when you came back from US, maybe you can tell us a bit about that story. Macam mana you boleh masuk situ?
No, I think those days and now is a lot different. Sekarang budak-budak kita ni dah graduate, belum minta kerja lagi. Relax lah dulu. Dia nak relax dulu, ada relax, and then they start looking for a job kind of thing. But during those days, life was tough. I was married. If I come back, don't have a job to support my family. So both of us applied jobs, obviously. And I got a job at a Malaysian Merchant Bank. So I didn't go for the graduation.
So you applied before you came back lah?
Oh, I applied everywhere. Everywhere to anybody because definitely needed a job. I mean, my parents couldn't support me, obviously. We were married. And of course, you're married, you must support yourself. You know? So I got a job, and my wife also was lucky. Got a job in UPM. We came back, came back, and I got a place in Malayan Mansion, the flat kat sana tu. Dekat bank je. Send my wife to Sedang, and come back, go to work. Habis kerja, go and pick her up, satu kereta je. You know. Tunggulah kat sana. I mean, that's life lah. But life was tough, obviously, but a tough life toughens you up. This is important, very important.
And you were doing that for about 8 years?
Yeah.
And then what happened? Why did you suddenly maneuver yourself? And then I think you went directly to Mydin, right? After that?
Yes. I mean, I worked only one place. Then I think decided to leave. There are many reasons. Of course, I don't want to go into that. But important is when you leave that job, you take a calculated risk. Very important. Kadang-kadang kita ni, we leave something. So when I wanted to leave, I of course talked to my wife. We had 2 kids.
Oh, dah 2 anak dah.
Anak dah. So macam mana? If I leave a job.
Were you earning good money at that time?
I think manager in the bank those days was
big lah.
Okay lah kot. I mean, you can probably afford a decent life. Wife, lecturer, not too bad. So when I say calculated, when you do something, you calculated risk. So kita kata okay lah, kalau on the wife salary, gaji macam ni, bayar sewa, bayar kereta, makan, cukup tak? Those days cukup lah. Now it's very difficult. One salary, those days cukup. So I said, then I can take the risk of opening a business. And of course it's tough, opening a small shop somewhere in Masjid India.
So that was when you did the Masjid India punya shop
correct.
lah?
And opening the shop with no money. With no money. So it's very interesting to open a shop with no money.
How?
Yeah. My father's reputation.
Oh, good reputation.
Because the word Mydin itself, now of course it's a brand in itself, but those days tu supplier kenal.
Oh.
So I told my father nak buka kedai, kata buka lah. Kata boleh tolong ke bagi duit ke barang ke. Kata I don't have money, you from your whatever you bayar lah, deposit ambil kedai. Dia pun dia pun dia tak dia he didn't give. He couldn't afford. Not to say tak nak bagi. I think of course I'm sure my father wanted to support whatever. But what his advice was very simple. Dia kata, you don't put your name. Don't put your name. You put my name. Put Mydin there. So you put the word Mydin. Although the owner is not my father, the owners were the brothers. You put the word Mydin there. Don't worry. These are the suppliers I'm buying from. They will give you the goods.
Without you having to pay first lah.
Don't worry.
So you
because
just
you got a name. But you better pay them back because it's my reputation, so you supply the goods and then you rolling lah. Orang kata rolling kan, susah-susah. Rolling lah. You jangan dapat duit sikit, nampak duit banyak sikit, jangan pergi beli kereta lagi satu ke, tak beli rumah lah, this kind of thing. You manage that. Tough, but slowly you grow lah from that one shop to two shop, three shop kind of thing, and then the rest is history lah. That's history.
Amazing. So maksudnya the third shop tu you buka, but the first shop is your dad's punya masa tu, and he was still running it.
Yes.
And then the second shop your brother was still running it. Then you buat the third shop. And then after that, how did you guys grow pula? Because you guys kan macam different entity pula.
No, the entity is always one.
Oh, satu company lah.
Satu company. I mean, the syarikat Mydin Muhammad, lepas tu Mydin Muhammad, that kind of thing. Nama dia macam tu je lah. But the owners have, once I open up, I think surprisingly, my father let go his name, Dia tak ada shareholding in Mydin. Dia bagi anak dia. Kita 4 brothers, 25. That's it.
Oh yeah. So he wasn't the owner also?
No. When we started opening in Mydin India and all this, no. He let it go.
What age was he at that time?
Probably 60.
He's still able to.
No. I think maybe 50 something. Able, but a man that trusts his son more than I think how less trusting we will be of our children nowadays. Kan?
So he really trust you guys and then just.
Dia bagi je. Because
But
surprisingly,
was he still like macam tengok-tengokkan ataupun macam
when
still give
he
a lot
was in Kota Baru, dia tengok. But later my brother was taking care of the shop. So bila I buka kat Mydin India, he was not involved at all. But dia bagi advice macam tu je lah. Advice. Macam I remember bila I kat Mydin India tu, those days fax machine. Orang pakai fax. So I kata, I nak masuk fax machine. Berapa ribu tau those days fax machine. Dia kata, why you must put the fax machine? Because kita daripada bank kan, pakai fax machine dah biasa. Satu fax kat sana cepat lah. So I kata, senang lah ada fax machine. Kita import barang pada Bangkok, hantar fax. Dia ada fax, kita dapat cepat. Apa susahnya hantar surat? 7 hari tu bukan lama sangat. Because those days letters will take 7 days.
Kalau fax direct lah kan?
Direct. But he says, why you spend so much money on a fax machine? So that calculation, rightly or wrongly, I mean, everybody has got their own perspective. But of course, I went ahead and bought the fax machine lah. I didn't listen to him. He was very upset. But he let go. That means dia selalu he will tell you, but he will not stop you.
Faham? So he's not the type yang akan macam my way or no way.
No. That one no. That one my younger brother probably. but no, not him because bila kita buka kedai pun, bila kita nak ambil kedai, I always ask him. Even in Mydin India, I remember bila kita nak beli kedai kat depan tu, I ask my father, I say, I nak buka kedai kat sana. His advice very simple, Dia kata, mana orang jalan? Tengok kat depan tu orang tak jalan tau. Kat sini orang jalan. You must see where people are walking. Actually, kita ni budak ni. Nanti buka Mydin orang jalan kat sana lah. Kata, you don't think like that. You ni ada ego ni. Kata, don't think that way. Jangan buka kedai kalau ada 3 tangga. Because steps, orang tak naik tangga. You see? Orang tak naik tangga.
So he did instill whatever knowledge and experience he had to.
I mean, you think of simple thing, you tak terfikir kadang-kadang. Alah, takkan orang tak naik 4 tangga kan kalau saya ada ABC brand
What
kan.
do you mean 4 tangga? Like 4 steps of
Correct.
floors pun orang tak nak naik?
People don't go up steps. You know these shops in Mydin India, there are no steps. It's all floor.
Ada satu kedai tu dia ada step and I tengok tak ada orang juga.
Dia naik sikit lah. Dia just Just as you go up a step lah. You don't go up steps.
Faham?
Because people don't go up steps. You see? Of course, now you go escalators.
Sekarang dah lain sikit.
I mean, that is a very simple logic. And how people turn to the right or people turn to the left. You know, these are very simple thing. He from his experience. Kita sekarang baca buku lah, tengok TikTok lah, but those days are all experiences. But I think you learn a lot in business. So it's very important that you listen to your elders, your mentors. But I've always said this, that kita dengar, you ask people for opinion, you ask your friends, you listen, do research. But end of the day, that decision that you make must come from your heart. You have to listen to your heart, you know. Macam kita nak kahwin, kata, wah, she's beautiful, from a good family, adik-beradik, mak bapak dia pun nampak good upbringing, she should be okay. But what does your heart say? Does it go tick-tock, tick-tock? Yes, then you do it. Same as opening a shop or opening a business, you want to do something, you ask your heart, you ask people, 80% will say don't do it, obviously. Why?
But what instill your confidence in doing that Mydin? Padahal masa tu baru 2 kedai, and then you had a good shop already. I mean, a good job already. You know, so what instilled that confidence in you untuk make that step? Apa yang membuatkan you that bold step? You know.
You know, it was more of whether I think my late father said that. I talked to him. He said it's up to you actually, but you know, I'm sure you work, you'll be successful. You will be probably the MD of the bank one day or whatever it is. But you will always be working for somebody lah. You know. I mean,
so that was what your father said.
If you open up this small shop, you work hard. What you earn, you work hard. It's yours lah.
So your father had influence lah at that time.
In a way, because it's more of, he's not telling. It's just what you want to do in your life. You want to be happy. The bank will give you a car, driver, a house probably. Become MD of a bank one day, and then be called by Bank Negara for whatever reason. But then you choose lah. Then you choose somehow. But I think because you're brought up in that family of business people, so that nak berniaga lah ni, you know. Also, I'm a chemist, you see. I mean, my first degree is a chemist. I'm a chemist major. So what's the chemist major doing? Dia jual mi atar kan. Tapi mi atar pun chemistry. Kena tahu. You tak boleh masuk air lah. Bau dia is a solvent. It's not water, you know. The density is very important. You understand this from a chemist point. But I think I would advise most people seriously to be technical. Your base is good to have a good science, maths. Because you tend to be a bit more meticulous. And then you do your masters in orang kata MBA ke business whatever it is. So technically you are very sound, you know. Because I think many of us very superficial knowledge. Kita atas saja kan. The details we don't tend to see kadang-kadang. By business, retail is detail. Detail. Numbers are important. I've seen many entrepreneurs. Kadang-kadang jadi mentor lah, kalau duk cerita-cerita, tanya. They don't have that numbers, you know. They don't have the numbers. On my phone, I have yesterday's sales from all the 68 outlets. It's in my phone in the morning. I must have the number. Sales and the margin I made for that particular day. It's very important. Anything happen, I mean like 400 WhatsApp groups in my office, you know. Information and I mean,
but do you actually have the time to look at all of that?
Obviously.
You do?
You make time.
You make time. That's your priority lah.
Because that's your life. Your life, you see. So
but not all the 400 WhatsApp group lah kot.
Of course, it's a WhatsApp group. You have
400 you boleh sempat tengok?
Tengok, apa tak tengok. Because that's your life. I don't go for other funny things, you see. The rest of the group you have to block lah. No, I mean 400 groups. Because they are sending information, and I am in many of the groups. Some I don't have to see in details.
But do you respond in those groups?
Of course.
Oh, you do,
Yes, I do. At least you respond once in a while. That make people on jatuh, boss baca lah. Kenapa? You see the thing. How come you put so much ice on the chicken or on the fish? You cannot put so much ice. You have to put ice on the fish, on the chicken because it's a cold chain kind of thing. Tapi kalau banyak sangat, nanti the ice is very heavy. It spoil the skin of the fish. So when you see the photo they send, the morning opening, the display, you pick it out. You say, kenapa banyak sangat ais ni? Alamak, bos dah tengok gambar dah. So in that way, they are
quality dia akan
quality, and then they have to do the job. The boss is looking at it. It's just not another photo. But you respond, and also it's important because even this is internal, even external. Kalau orang nak beli barang, CSR project, I'm always in the group. I mean, I did with your father also once or twice a CSR. He's surprised I'm in the
CSR.
CSR. He's doing his CSR thing. I'm in the group. I'm in the group. I'm responding. Kenapa barang tak siap lagi ni? Siapkan, you know. He said, you don't respond semua ni. Kata, we have to because. But you see, it is a matter of your management style. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. People say, come on lah, you know. You're micromanaging everything, you know.
Do you think you're micromanaging?
I am a micromanager. But sometimes, when you talk to people, when you read up on successful people, many of them tend to micromanage. They don't say, they always say empowerment, this and that. But sometimes when you look at it, they tend to, I mean, even Elon Musk tend to micromanage many things. The way you see his statement, yeah. So he's micromanaging, seriously, because he's really making statements that are micromanaged. So I think it's important. It's important that you of course you must empower people and do this kind of thing. But you also must make them know that you know what you're talking. Hey, you don't try to pull a fast one on me lah. You know, I know what's happening. You know, I think this is important.
Faham? Alright, Datuk. So thank you so much for sharing so much knowledge from your experience, kan? So we're gonna take a short break, and then after this we're gonna come back with Datuk Wira Ameer Mydin. Alright.
Thank you.
Alright, welcome back to Apa Cerita. Okay, Datuk. I've asked you tadi briefly lah about Mydin punya story and things like that, kan? And I understand that the decision to go back ataupun to go into the family business is actually your own decision lah. Even though maybe it was influenced by your late father, kan? So, Datuk, I just nak tahu, Datuk. Lepas you masuk, kan, what role did you play to grow Mydin to where it is today?
I think there's no one role, seriously. I think kadang-kadang kita ni kan, we do something. I mean, people say 5-year plan, 10-year plan. Tak ada plan lah kot. Those days we don't plan lah.
You don't?
You just plan that you have food on your table. Because you are a small business.
At that time lah tu. But
you have dreams. Everybody has dreams. You can always dream big. But one step at a time, kan. So I don't think when you open a small shop like that, you have a 5-year plan lah. Your only plan is how I'm going to pay my suppliers on time. Boleh jual tak?
Cash
flow. That is, I mean, business is not profitability, of course, it's cash flow, kan. How the cash flow, how to manage, to pay supplier, to pay the rent, that kind of thing. And then you go to the opportunity when you have the next shop available. Then opportunity is there. Then you talk to your brothers together, because it's the owners are my 4 brothers at the end of the day. Then you decide. Then you make a decision. But brothers must be supportive of that decision. But sometimes what you have done for people in life, with full sincerity, comes back to you. And I think many people don't know. When I was working in the bank, I had a friend of mine. I won't mention his name. A friend of mine. dia duduk beli shares kat market, stock market lah. Dia stock market. Kita kan merchant bank.
Yalah.
So you are in a merchant bank. You
tolong orang lain beli stok juga.
No, but you when you are in a merchant bank, you also buy shares in the market because you not because it's not a privacy information, but you must be in the market lah, because baru you tahu. You meet clients, you don't even know
What's going on?
What's going on in the market, whatever. So he used to buy and dabble in the stock market, and I don't dabble. I don't have the money that much. Everything I saving. But what happened? This is a true story, and he lost some good money lah. Lost some money. And this guy used to go to work with him on his motorcycle, because it's easier. I was staying in Bangsa. He also was staying nearby. So he picked me up on the motorbike, and then we go to work together and come back on the motorbike lah. Good friend.
Very good friend lah.
A good friend. And he lost money in the market, and it was terrible loss. So he asked me one day, boleh pinjam tak duit? I had a little savings, seriously. If I recall, could be 10,000 ringgit.
That was your whole saving?
That's all I had lah, So then he said, can you lend me? I said, can you make sure please pay me back? Because that's my life, And I actually gave
the
him
whole thing?
All my saving.
The whole 10,000?
The whole 10,000 I
Wow.
gave to him. Or 10 or 15, I can't remember, but I gave it to him. And he paid off. Otherwise, dia pinjam along ko, But somehow he sorted out and he paid it back. And he paid it back to me.
Oh, he paid back?
He paid back. People say never lend money to friend, but I did that. And he paid me back that money. Paid me back money. I say, how much?
That is for the transportation cost.
Then he say, how much interest? I said, no lah, okay, ni semua riba. More you wanted to help, and ever grateful and forgotten. That's it. When I started my business and opened my shop and whatever, and then I wanted to buy a building, I wanted to buy one of the shops kat depan. If I remember, it was like 1.8 million those days. Big, to those big lah.
Those days it was big. That was in 1980s, 90s?
Yeah, right. Then I had to pay a deposit. So I had the first 10% deposit. Then I had to apply for the bank. You know how you sign the S&P, you pay deposit, you ada 3-6 bulan, lepas tu kena bayar, you lose your deposit. So before I pay deposit, I takut nanti kalau tak dapat loan, I would die. And this friend of mine became very successful.
Oh, he did?
He left the bank, I also left the bank, and he, stock market, dia pandai lah. I mean, he is good at what he was doing. Became very well. So I want to buy the shop. I tak berani because if I pay the deposit, if I cannot pay the balance, what will I do? So I went to see him. I said, I'm doing this. I want to buy this shop, and just in case I don't get the loan, I will lose my 180,000. Can you help me if I need the money? No problem. I will give you your 1.8 million if you need. Just like that. I said, it's okay lah. So I bought the shop, that 1.8 million. I bought the shop. I gave that the 10% or whatever was required. That one I had the money. But I kena pinjam lah kan. Went to the bank.
Bank tak ada loan?
The balance lah.
Balance lah.
My worry was kalau
takut
kena
bank tak bagi.
Bank tak bagi. Kita ni Mydin bukan Mydin sekarang boleh pinjam berapa ratus juta. Those days, borrowing that kind of money, a lot of money. So, and the bank gave me the money in time, and I didn't need the money. I said, but that support from him berani.
Gave you that confidence. Right.
And after that, many years later, I bought the $18 million building. Okay, I had the same issue.
But this time is like 17 million pula.
So I had to pay 1.8 million, 10%, then maybe the balance. Then I had to borrow kan. Balance, 15 million I borrow. Again, I saw him. He was well off.
Super well off lah ni kalau macam tu.
Syukur Alhamdulillah lah.
I'm curious now who this person is.
He's a very nice person.
Is he well known also?
No, not in the public domain. But a good friend. I keep in touch with him. Then I said, I'm buying this building, and it is 18 million. I have to pay 1.8, and then another 10, in case I don't get the loan. Just in case. Maybe I get 50%. Mana lah tahu. Bank can be difficult sometimes. Can you cover me? I'll pay you back. No problem. And I went ahead. I didn't need the money. I made it. So sometimes, in life, orang katakan, God gives you back berkat. Orang kata kita bagi orang, kita tolong dengan niat
Berkali-kali ni dapat.
Dia dapat berkali-kali kita dapat. So that $10,000 at that time was my life. Was my life. I gave to him on trust. I'm not telling people to do it. I'm just telling what happened in my life. And he didn't have to give me the money, but that confidence that I'm backing you, just like you have your father or your brother or your wife who's backing you from behind, kan? I'm there for you. Don't worry. That gave me the confidence to go for it. I think that made us be able to buy the property and then be able to buy that kind of property. And then, of course, the property, those days, the valuation, prices go up. Those 1.8 million shop is now $18 million,
Wow.
Yeah, I still have the shop.
Wow.
Mydin India property is one of the most... People tend to think property of value. Dia kata, KLCC lah, this and that. Per square feet, harga tanah, mahal sekali.
Masih India?
Kat Mydin India.
Serius
Yeah. One 4-story shop lot is 18 to 20 million,
Shop lot?
Yeah. So you imagine that, nak buat bangunan tu bukan mahal sangat kan. Tanah tu that 1,200 square feet. You're paying for 1,200 square feet. You're paying $20 million. Unbelievable.
1,200 square feet?
Your shop lot. Kan your shop lot is 60 by 20, 70
then
by...
dia naik ke atas lah kan?
Dia 4 tingkat je kat sana. The highest is 5 story. Got some buildings. But that shop lot is 18 to 20 million now.
Wow.
And Alhamdulillah lah, so we have a few of those shops. And I bought those shops from 1.8, 3.5 to even 5.5, different prices at the different. And the building that I bought in India to Mydin is 18 million. Dulu lah. Sekarang maybe.
Dah naik banyak lah.
Tapi semua pun kita cagar juga kat bank lah.
Yeah.
Not to say, I have all the property. I don't lah. I mean, most of it is of course
For working capital.
For working capital, for Mydin, for whatever it is. But you invest in hard assets lah. Property, of course, is hard asset. I'm very firm believer lah in this kind of asset. I'm not a believer of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Budak-budak kita, sekarang ni, but that's a different life. I believe in hard. And it is, property is something that people should invest in, good times or bad times, because you buy your house, you can invest in a house, don't have to invest in your car, because car is a depreciating asset, right? Property is normally an appreciating asset. So. But it's getting tougher, of course, obviously getting tougher nowadays. So, this is how life evolves. But at the end of the day, the things are the same. It is all hard work, honesty, integrity, perseverance, support from the family and friends, suppliers. And the suppliers that support you during thick and thin are not necessarily all your multinationals tau. Yang nama besar-besar tu tak support. Dia tengok dah bayar, dia hantar barang.
Kadang-kadang kena acong kan.
Acong kau tu lah yang kita kata yang pegang buku 3-5 tu kan. Dia kata tak apalah bulan depan kan. These are the people who actually support you. Even during COVID was the same problem, same issue. The big players let you down. You tak bayar, dia tak hantar barang. But the old suppliers from, my old supplier from Penang, from Johor, dia kata, tak bayar lagi lah bos. Hujan lah bos. Dia faham tu kata, hujan lah bos. Dia kata, minggu depan tak hujan tau. Okay, kita cuba minggu depan. Minggu ni tu hantar barang sikit lah, okay. I think it's important that because why I say this Achong or Ahmad or Akau, because when they needed the cash flow, we also help them out. Dia hantar barang, dia kata, bos, next week Chinese New Year lah bos, boleh bayar cepat sikit tak? And if you have the cash flow, you pay them. Pay them. So when you an umbrella, umbrella, you give an umbrella. Hujan kat sana, you bagi your umbrella. Esok kita pun hujan juga. So he lends his umbrella to you. Reciprocal, but it with sincerity.
Faham? Betul.
You don't give because thinking tomorrow I need you.
You give out of sincerity.
Sincerity, and I think people respond. MNCs are different. They just
Look at PNL.
people sitting in office and pressing buttons, and they are difficult. I mean, they have their own responsibilities. I'm not saying they're bad people, but they report to bigger animals up there, so difficult for them to be. The people can be good, but I mean, they have numbers.
Mungkin they are tight with SOPs or
They're button lah.
betul.
Because they kata, I'm marketing, the finance guy is the one who presses the button, You pass your credit limit, pass your term. But that's the real world.
Faham? Okay, Datuk, macam okay, just now you mentioned you tak percaya all this Bitcoin and whatever not kan. Tapi at the same time I tengok you percaya pula on social media. Macam some of the macam my mum ke apa semua, they are all in Facebook, Instagram. Belum lagi lah ada my family member yang generation mak I atau bapa I yang dekat TikTok. Tapi Datuk sendiri pula you are in TikTok and very active. In fact I think a few years ago that was when I started to macam ingat balik Datuk punya story, because you were suddenly back in the social media ni kan. Maybe you can share with us, was that a strategy yang you sengaja buat, ataupun was that something your team asked you to do, or something yang you memang fikir?
I think it's important, I think, is that you be together with the time. When I say about, example, Bitcoin, or I say about
Crypto.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
But you just don't believe it.
It's just that I don't want to invest.
Faham?
Okay. Why? Because it is speculative in nature. It goes up too fast and it goes down faster. And it's nothing wrong. I mean, but that is something.
Yeah, even stock pun Datuk tak
Correct.
dulu kan?
I don't buy shares, because I mean, a lot of people buy shares. Nothing wrong. You buy good companies. Long-term investment is very
Blue
good.
chips or whatnot.
It's just I feel that I rather invest my money in Mydin, or or buy another
Assets.
shop lot, or buy another property, because I find that long-term returns are always better. Even when you ask Warren Buffett, he will say he missed out on Amazon, or he missed out on this, because he said, I didn't think that it would be that successful. So many of us old timers tend to be more conservative, and not necessarily is wrong. It is how you decide.
It's your strategy lah.
Our strategy is very simple. You don't want to be a millionaire overnight. I think orang kata naik tangga jangan berlari. So you save slowly. The slower you go up, the longer
You stay
there. I mean, a lot of young people go up very fast, and many people disappear also very fast. There are very few people who have gone up slowly, slowly, and I mean, very few people have gone up very fast and remain up there. And it's not matter of in terms of Bitcoin or this, even artists.
Yep.
Even artists, you'll be familiar. Even your mother. I mean, she didn't become a star seriously overnight.
Betul. Took her
Seriously.
time.
She actually sang. She used to sing at a university function. My wife was telling me. She said, Siti came to sing at my function. Those times that she was nobody. So she also started seriously singing at those kind of thing that you say, I didn't want to do that. Hey, I'm a star, But no, you're not a star. You become a star when
After the hard work.
After all the hard work, and after when people make you the star, you don't make yourself a star. And I always say to people that money and fame will come to you when you are ready for it. You must be ready for it.
Bukannya you not the money and fame, and then they will come. You have to be ready for it first.
You yourself must be ready for it, because people who are not ready for it commit suicide. Because you see all the famous stars, kadang-kadang they are overnight successes. Lepas tu they cannot take that success. The friend are the wrong friend, the influence is the wrong influence. Lepas tu drug addict lah, ni lah, that lah. I mean, you read always, especially in this so-called media.
Social media world.
But very few who have come up slowly do those kind of things, because you pick up things slow and steady, kan? So I think this is very important, that you don't rush into things. it's good to have dreams, but I think it's important that you work slow and steady to be there.
Okay, Tok, I want to ask you, Tok, when you were maybe 18 years old, you pernah imagine ke you akan jadi famous, orang kenal, become super successful? I think in Malaysia, I think you are one of the top lah, if not the top kan. One of the, memang semua orang kenal lah kalau cakap pasal usahawan. If you ask somebody to list 5 usahawan kat dalam Malaysia, I'm sure your name will come up kan. So was that something that you've always imagined, something that you've always wanted, or something that came to you?
Never imagined, never even thought about it. Seriously, I think things like this happens. It happens. And I think it happens sometime. Maybe you have done something good in the world. I have no idea, seriously. But I don't think I work towards it or I plan towards it. I mean, even the TikToks, seriously, you mentioned that I do. It is something that you like to do. You enjoy doing it. I think persuasion from from the team, a good young team. Seriously, you hire the right people. They are very creative.
I heard a lot of them are very young people also.
Very, very young, very naughty. Sometimes going out of the thing. So you have to manage them also right. You have to manage them right. They don't go overboard because you have a brand.
Yep.
You have a brand. You have a name. They are very creative people, can go overboard. So you have to manage. So even every TikTok that comes out from Mydin, whether I'm in there or even the other of my staffs are there, they need my approval.
Oh really?
Yeah, nothing goes out without my approval. You see? Because branding is very important, right? And you want to be there to make sure that whatever comes out. So the levels of approval, it goes to a content, approval for content kind of thing, it goes there. The 2 or 3 of my senior managers of different departments, okay, one could be operation, one could be corporate com, one could be somebody else, and I'm there, and I have the final button on it. So they look at it, okay, then I look at it and okay. So every TikTok goes out, I've gone through it. Nothing goes out.
So Datuk tak penat ke nak tengok all this content? I'm sure setiap hari banyak content kan?
Well, our Mydin TikTok tak sebanyak pun because you don't overload. Yeah,
Or you buat bila perlu je lah, not like 3 times a day, 5 times a day.
No. I think we don't do that many because you don't want to overload, you know. And we don't try to do it pasal barang. I think you notice. Ours is more creative in nature. It's more
benda yang boleh viral lah.
Yang boleh viral lah. Boleh viral. Tapi apa yang pergi viral, seriously, I don't think anybody knows.
Oh, which is which?
Which is going to go viral, right? You plan the best TikTok, you orchestra the best TikTok, tak ada orang tengok pun, you know. And then you kata apa dah jadi, tengok jadi viral pula, you know. You see. So I think those kind of things, I think that the social media world, people actually have not understood seriously well enough in terms of even to understand music well enough that why does a song become a hit? I'm sure everybody wants every song to be a hit.
But there's a formula to it juga kan?
There's a formula. You must do this, you must do this. Then, okay lah kot. But I'm sure the best singer singing the worst song cannot become a hit. It must be right. You know, and it must be right at the right time. At the right time. You know. So, I mean, similarly, this TikTok that we do or whatever, somehow the timing could be right. Harga ayam naik kita buat TikTok. People kata, you know. But we try to do what is more relevant. We don't touch religious sentiment, race sentiment. We're just sensitive. And Malaysia is a very multicultural, multiracial society. So we have to be very careful. I think it's very important that kita ni kan don't have only acceptance. Don't have tolerance, but we must have acceptance of different culture. I mean, we just did Pungal celebration kat Mydin yesterday. So even we say surprised, hari tu Deepawali pun you had a very big event. I says, you know, every thing, Pungal ke, kalau ni Chinese New Year is coming, we'll have all the dragon dancers coming up as much as we want, you see, because I think it's important
To celebrate
to
the
celebrate
diversity.
and also to understand. It's only when you do the Punggol then realize, apa ni Punggol ni? What are they celebrating? Oh, you know,
This is why it's open,
this is why they're doing the abundance, you know, rezeki. Kita kata rezeki. Yeah, it's the same actually. Muslim ke, you're Christian or you're Indian. Everybody, the good things are always the same across the board. Across the board. So they're celebrating the same thing in abundance, you know, for everybody, you know. So it's the same thing. So we just did that yesterday, and I think our CNY Dragon Dance is going to be coming up very soon. So it's like that lah. It's like that. Tak lama nak puasa lagi ni.
Lagi banyak festival lepas ni
Banyak sangat. All coming to near,
close, yeah.
to close for us.
Okay, tu I nak I want to touch into maybe you can share with us a bit about maybe the biggest ataupun struggle yang paling besar lah for Mydin as of today. Maybe you can share one of the story. Maybe could be about the COVID punya time ke, or even pre-COVID.
I think we have gone through many challenges. The 2008 crisis, 2018, and of course now everybody knows the COVID. I think the most difficult for most people has been COVID.
For yourself also?
Yeah. Because I think other crises, you manage. Because you're doing business, it's just tougher. Instead of doing $1,000 sale, you're doing 700. Instead of doing 700, you're doing 500. So you potong sana, potong sini, you manage. You know, you work a bit harder. You try to do things. But COVID, bukan 1,000. Tak berniaga pun. It was tough. I mean, people think Mydin basically beli jual barang, but they forget that we own a lot of properties, malls. We have 27 malls.
Wow.
So,
I've been to the Kota Baru kan.
Kelantan kat Tunjung kan, for example. So we have malls. So our malls were closed. So tak dapat sewa. See? Hypermarket was open, but only a part of it was open. Only yang jual makanan saja. All the other part is closed. 70% is closed, 30% saja buka. You see, and you have a whole building that is there.
The maintenance
saja, bukan nak bayar bank, nak bayar sewa. Besar-besar ni tak lupa sewa, you know. Tapi kita nak kutip sewa tak dapat. So we burn millions of dollars, burn. Because that one burn, you cannot get back, you know.
Yeah.
See,
normal business,
normal business goes down a bit, tapi yalah barang tu ada lagi, tak jual lagi. Nanti jual, you get your money back. But COVID time, when your rental, your gaji doesn't stop, you see. So and you burn, and we burn 100 million. We lost 100 million, just like that, because burn.
That past 2 years
Yeah, because it's just burn. Because you know you have buildings like this.
So how do you feel burning that 100 million? After that, how do you feel? Macam, I don't know. I tak pernah ada 100 juta to burn yet. So
we burn the bank's money, I think, probably. But
you still have to pay the bank.
Of course. But I think if you have not been throwing money around, we've been around for
many years. So the piling tends to be a bit more stronger. So you had a lot of savings juga.
We have assets. So banks will trust us that kita ada lah. We have 10 shops in Masjid India, for example. Then we have a lot of the properties we have. So assets tu ada lah. But what is burn lah, you know. Unfortunately, the burn going to take many years to cover back, because you don't make that kind of money in retail. But that's life. The important thing to look at is that you're still around. Many are. It's a pity that many who were coming up, that kind of burn has put them back for years.
Tidur.
Years. So those who are still around, they should be bersyukur sebetulnya that you're still around and that you made it. I can't think of another crisis, seriously, that bad. So anyone who has gone through COVID would know that you survive. I would say the better way, you made it lah. You made it. And I don't think any other tsunami is going to be that strong.
Okay, but Alhamdulillah, I think it's a blessing lah that you guys went through it and then got out of it kan. So after COVID, did you guys manage to recover?
I don't think anybody has still recovered. But I think, you must not forget the government policy in this. The Malaysian government actually did the right thing in many ways. When you look back now, pada masa tu kita marah lah.
Yalah, especially yourself kan.
Tutup kedai tak pasal, this and that, whatever. But you look at what happened in many other countries. We had a good civil servant. Forget the politician, I don't want to talk about it. Very good civil servant who worked very hard. And we were working together because we were there. Thinking of what to do, what not to do. Consultation was excellent by the civil servant. We have good people out there. I think they have managed the country very well. I mean, we borrowed, but we didn't go into so much of a debt compared to many other countries. We opened up quite fast.
Yep.
Comparatively to China, which is still suffering because they didn't want to open. I mean, they have their own reasons. We don't know the integrity of each country. I'm sure everybody wants to do the best for their country. But our timing was quite good. People complain all the time, but I think we have a good country. We have a good country. We have a good government, a stable government. Let the government be there, please, for some time.
This current one?
Huh?
This current one?
You see, I'm not a politician, but I think stability.
You want stability, yeah.
We want stability, Once every 5 years, fight it out. Fight it out. Once the person has won, give him the opportunity to run the country, 1-2 years is too short, seriously, to clean up. The person, I'm sure everybody is trying their best. If you give stability, then people trust. When people trust, then investors come in. Apa lagi nak? Lagi baru setahun, 2 tahun, Dubai moves lah, that move, this move. To me, stability is important. And business, we want stability. We don't really care who is the Prime Minister.
But, Datuk, I think interesting lah you're saying this because kalau you tengok, okay, for the past 2 years ni, kita tengok, is there anything that has become better? Or things are becoming worse?
Of
like
course.
After the new Prime Minister came in power kan, do you feel like there's a lot of things that are getting better, or you think like banyak lagi macam nak bergaduh, banyak lagi nak pergi tangkap dia tu, nak tangkap dia ni, and is there work being done? That's just as a public kan. I terfikir juga, is this something that a Prime Minister should be doing, going to all this public talk apa semua, bantai all the tones apa semua ni kan, or should he be doing his ni kan, dah termasuk politik sikit pula.
Yeah. I think politicians have their own agenda, obviously, right? But I think putting the politics part of it aside, I think the country is moving forward. Because I'm a co-chair of Pemuda. Pemuda. So I sit in many of the meetings of the government. And we know that the government of the day is serious of transparency. I mean, things have gone so bad, so you cannot expect an overnight. Kalau you dah 200, you dah 200 kilo,
nak turun 80 kilo,
80 kilo, mana boleh? It's not an overnight success. And if you do it overnight, esok naik balik pula, right? So you take time. You got to work hard. You got to exercise every day. Eat the right food.
Got to do the right things.
Do the right things, and it's not easy.
But you think he's doing the right thing?
At the moment, I think he's doing the right thing. Well, let me put it this way. He's saying the right things. He's saying the right thing. So it's important at the top. You say the right thing. And of course, leadership is by example, right? Talking about transparency, talking about not being corrupted, open, whatever. And of course, then you say, but why did you do this? Why did you do that? I mean, difficult to run a country with one hand tied behind. Politically, right? But I think if given space, let the civil servants run the country. Listen to the civil service. Politicians come and go. But I think we have a good civil servants, right? And they want good for the country because they are Malaysian, right? The children are going to be growing up here. Education is important. I think if you look at the blueprint, it's good. We just need enough support.
Support and time, I guess.
Support and time. I don't think the government is doing something seriously wrong. And you have to keep saying and to be seen catching people. Of course, I don't agree about, I don't want to say what I don't agree. Too sensitive. But let's give some trust. Give the person the time of the day. After you elected him, come on. Whether I elected him is not a question. We elected the Prime Minister of the day, the government of the day. Give the government of the day the time. And we're getting good FDIs. We have a good opportunity in the country. Let's not let the politician destroy it. Very important.
But you're not scared of benda ni akan jadi lebih teruk. Contoh macam USD akan jadi lebih parah. I'm sure it's affecting your business also, right? I'm sure you're buying things from different countries and whatnot. And
of course. I think we shouldn't worry about USD too much because, we are allowed to buy in other currencies. I don't buy a lot of things in USD. India, I buy in rupees. In China, I buy in renminbi. You see? Indonesia, I buy in rupiah.
So with all these currencies, Malaysia is still okay?
It's better because now you are able to do. Those days you can't. Those days when you live in China, it had to be US dollar.
USD.
In India also has to be US dollar. But now it's no more. Bank Negara allows you to buy in the currency. So I would ask people, if you're dealing with ASEAN countries or even in China, for example, buy in their currency. Because ringgit vis-a-vis their currency is quite stable.
Quite stable, eh?
Yeah. You compare. You don't go to your 4.72 lah tu kan. Terrible. Don't do US. I mean, unfortunately, if you buy from Pakistan, you have to buy onion from US dollars lah. No choice because Pakistan. But if you buy in local currencies, you can hedge your bet better because end of the day you are selling in ringgit, right? So I think it's okay. And seriously, the strength of the US dollar is very subjective.
A lot of things.
A lot of things happening out there. People printing money. The only country that prints money, owes people money, and still the strongest currency. Kita ni kalau utang macam tu dah tak ada lah esok. So I think we are too small a country to make too much noise. We should manage the country in terms of just do business. And I think we do that. Of course, the PM tends to be a bit loud on Palestine issue because it's closer to his heart. But I think forgetting that part, everything else, we are business as usual. We do business with US in the morning, then we go to China in the afternoon. We talk to India, Modi in the evening. So we even talk to Russia for that matter, right? So we are not saying that I would do this, I would do that. We work with everybody. I think that's the right approach for a small country. Just important.
Okay, Datuk, I nak tanya pula sekarang ni about the difference between you managing the business. I think you started in the 80s, betul tak? In the 80s and then sekarang in the 2020s ni kan. How is the difference? Is there a lot of difference ataupun you rasa, the core things is still the same?
Business is moving too fast at the moment. I think because of online, social media and all that. So things tend to move. You have to be more agile, more on your toes, I think. But you see, forgetting that, end of the day, coffee is coffee, chicken is chicken, rice is rice. You wear black, you wear blue. That hasn't changed. Your watch is still silver. So that hasn't changed. You see? And your shoes are black. It still hasn't changed. The same thing that people used to wear 50 years ago, So things don't change that much. People tend to think.
But technology
Technology changes and you go with technology. You
adapt quickly.
You adapt as fast as you can. How we adapt to TikTok, we adapt to Boots. Even you go to Mydin, some of the things you get a reply. I pun marah, ala auto reply.
bots,
Bots are replying, and they are actually consolidating accounts. We invest a lot of money behind the scene for productivity purposes. I mean, we are inshallah opening a big warehouse very soon, probably 2 years. Which is going to be very robotic. The one you see like Amazon, the robot angkat barang, masuk barang. But you have to do those things. You can't say, no, this is the way I live. You go, but the front is still the same. People are still the same. They still want to talk to you. They need the emotional attachment. So you have to give them that experience when they come to do business with you. And you'll be surprised. People talk about online. We see the recent study. The younger generation want to go shopping. They want to sit down and have coffee. There's a number of coffee shops opening everywhere, F&B, right? So, shocking, isn't it? Dulu nak pergi ada 1-2 brand saja. Sekarang kita punya local brand pun dah banyak. Every other shop, there's a coffee shop.
Lah, Gigi lah, macam-macam kan.
Dicemur lah.
Black coffee
coffee lah kan. So, it's every other place is the coffee shop. Because people are emotional being. They want to talk. I want to meet you over coffee to tell you what I did today, what happened today, and you want to tell me. Even me and my wife pun kata, come let's go for coffee. Bukan tak ada kopi kat rumah. Probably coffee at home is better, I think. But come, let's go out. Let's sit down at the coffee shop, talk about things, see the world outside a bit, go out a bit. We are social animals, So this online thing, it's not a social animal, remember. So that thing is still, the brick and mortar is not going to die tomorrow. If he was going to die, then the big players will not be investing in brick and mortar. They know at the end of the day it's going to be a balance.
That's why macam US Target apa semua still the biggest.
I mean, even Walmart also doing online so much, but they're using just stores to do online. So macam kita pun sama. We're also doing online.
And Walmart is one of the biggest in the US.
It's the biggest. Now, even online, they're getting almost as big as Amazon. You see, because they have an advantage. They have a store. Location. They dah ada store semua. So, kita pun, if you look, I mean, we are slowly doing this because we don't want to go too fast on things. But like my Seramban outlet, because the store is very big, part of the store we converted to online. Kat belakang tu, it is our service center. Warehouse service center. We have the advantage. We have a store everywhere. So, end of the day,
you can do pickup.
No matter what Shopee, whatever you do, we have stores everywhere. Our pickup will be faster than anybody else. But and we will be doing it. I mean, just that we are not in a hurry. Not in a hurry because sometimes it's good to wait. It's good to wait. Let other people do the mistake and you learn from the mistake. You don't have to be the first in everything. I mean, there's no race here. The race is to win. It's
about consistency.
Consistency. We don't have to be number one, but don't be the last one. So as long as you're number 3, number 4, you're okay.
I think Mydin probably number 1 lah kot sekarang kat Malaysia.
Not really. I mean, there are very big other players out there. Very good competitors.
International lah.
No.
Local?
Seriously.
Ada local bigger than Mydin?
No, but I think they're getting bigger and bigger. I think the locals are very competitive. We look at the locals more than the foreigners. Simply because they have the flexibility. They understand local better. Saya pun tahu cincaluk, dia pun tahu cincaluk. Saya pun tahu budu, dia pun tahu budu.
Dia tahu the local culture.
They know kepul leko. So susah sikit kita nak lawan dengan dia. Kalau dengan MNC tu, dia tahu coffee dengan A dengan B aja. And they tend to listen to the top more. But the local, they listen to the bottom because they are on the ground kan. So susah sikit nak lawan dengan local ni. MNC senang kita nak lawan.
Okay, Datuk, I nak tanya. Like personally, I ada buat satu business lah, which is Jamu Mutiara. So we've been doing this for the past 6 years. And Alhamdulillah, it's doing quite well. It's doing quite well lah. It's growing every year and things like that. Tapi I get so many people around me telling me that, Ashraf, you should do something bigger lah. Kenapa you tak buat benda lain sekali? You dah set this thing out. Why not go and do another thing? Personally for me, I like to focus and just try to grow this as big as possible. But at the same time, this thing pun macam, yalah, I wanted to get your opinion lah. What do you think? Should a person just focus on one thing, ataupun should a person, diversify and do many other things as well?
If you know how to cook, open a restaurant. You see, to me, it's focus. And if you notice, people who don't focus, they tend to go to other things. They tend to fail. I mean, difficult to mention names lah. But I mean, you are running one business, then suddenly you buy a football club for what? The football club is going to fail. That's not your focus. You see, remember, when you try to do other things, you lose focus on your current business. Very important, because you are running. I'm running Mydin. Kerja kita ni beli dan jual. So we focus very clearly. Kita nak beli dan jual. You kata, why don't you manufacture? Okay, but if I start manufacturing,
That is different business lah.
it's a different business. Then I start buying from the same manufacturer. I cannot buy from somebody else. Although that guy is more competitive, takkan nak beli dengan orang lain pula. Barang kita sendiri kan. So then I will not be competitive pula. So I know this business well. So let me focus on that business and bring that business to the next level, and next level. Mydin is just a drop in the ocean, I only have 68 outlets, seriously.
But that's a lot tu. Kita ada 14 negeri tu. 68 bagi banyak.
Tapi kat Ampang tak ada.
No.
You are in Ampang, kata I nak pergi kat Mydin. Mana Mydin? Takkan nak pergi kat Subang pula, kata 45 minit bayar tol 2 kali, kata kan. Tak ada kat Ampang. You see? So how? Kat Kampung Baru pun tak ada. You see? There's so many places. I think I can easily open 300 stores in Malaysia. Forget Sabah Sarawak lagi, yang besar tu tempatnya. So there's so much that Mydin can do in Malaysia. And then you're on home ground. Main bola home ground lah kita kan. Why you want to pergi play away for what? Asking for trouble.
Yeah.
This is where your support system is. They know you better. So nothing wrong going overseas. But be strong in your home ground first lah. Be strong. Make sure your piling is super. That you can tahan any tsunami. Then you say, I'm strong enough, I think I can venture. Nothing wrong in venturing, you see. But you see many of the MNCs, they even have come to Malaysia. I mean, you see the Carrefours, you see the Tesco's, and they're very big players. Datang kat Malaysia tutup juga. At the end of the day, the local players are better. So sometimes you think you're very big or you're very strong, but the local environment is different. So to me, if you like to do it, then you do it. I mean, if you don't enjoy doing it, then don't do it. You really must. I tell people, the day I see my shop, if I don't walk into the shop, I've lost the passion for the shop. So macam kita ni kan, then if my wife says, let's say, come lah kita pergi jalan-jalan, pergi kat Melaka 2 hari, contohnya, nak cuti, I pergi 2 hari.
Mydin juga.
Tapi kena pergi 4 kedai Mydin. Bukan 1 kedai, 4 kedai nak pergi tengok. Tak sampai hati. I mean, because it's like your children. Tak sampai hati nak tak tengok kedai anak kita sendiri kan. You see? So it's like that. The thing is still there. Even my wife pun kata, tak nak pergi kedai sekejap ke? We on the way, kena pergi ni, kena pergi. Sekejap pun tak apa.
That's passion lah, yeah.
The passion, you see. It's just like when you see your mother, Your mother want to see you only for 5 seconds, She's not asking 2 hours of your time. So that 5 seconds, 10 seconds is enough for her. Right? If you have children, like even I have children, I have grandchildren, dapat tengok cucu 10 minit pun cukup lah.
Okay, Tok, I think interesting that I talk a bit about children is, but my next question I think would be related to children juga. So Datuk, you are doing one of the largest halal homegrown company in retail industry. And your son is doing one of the largest party on a ship, which is the ship kan. So what's your take on that, Datuk?
I think it's very important here that for us as parents, of course, we have certain aspiration for our children. But important in life is that you give them a good education. Okay, and you give them the right religious upbringing, right? Respect for parents, respect for others, humility. You teach them when they are young, all right? As they grow up, give them the freedom to do what they want to do, but their dreams are. You cannot expect a children to follow your dreams. I mean, my son is not in Mydin. He doesn't want to come to a shop 7 in the morning and go back 11 at night. He wants to do what he wants to do. Why force him to do something that he doesn't want to do? You know, I mean, it's a ship, it's a business.
Yep.
It's a business.
Big business also.
It's a business. Hopefully, a successful business. He does so many other things.
Yep.
He even did your mother's concert. You might know. So, I mean, apa salahnya kan? I also didn't know that he did the concert. I found out later.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Dad, you want to go?" I said, tiket mahal kot. I give it to you. Later I found out, you organized the concert. I said, oh my God, that's nice. You are organizing it. Oh, you're that big now, is it? I didn't know you were that big, is it? So I mean, that's the thing, is it? So I think you let go. Of course, you have your views, something that you might not be happy about because of your religious upbringing. I think, let them go. They let them grow up. They also know what is right and wrong. I think the important thing here is that what is right and what is wrong, don't force people, because you make them very unhappy.
Betul.
And you want them to open up, and this is new business. That business is not there, and people talk being innovative. Be innovative, be creative, do things no one has. Like the Star Trek, go where no man has gone before. Dia kata, itu tak boleh, ini tak boleh, itu tak boleh. Buka kedai lagi satu. Alah, come on lah. I mean, let it be. I think it's important. Let it be. But what is more important? He comes and sees us every day.
Oh yeah?
Yes. Almost every day he calls his mother. He talks to his father. The grandchildren come and visit us every other day, right? Dia pun salam pada kita. You see, I think those are important things.
Kan.
And then let them grow.
Betul. And I heard Datuk sendiri pun pernah pergi the ship ni.
I almost never miss the ship.
Oh wow, never miss.
Except the last one. But it's interesting because you see,
you have good time there also. You have fun.
I enjoy myself. I mean, obviously I don't drink, I don't smoke. But to understand people, business is understanding people. You must understand, why do people do things. Then only you can sell things to them, right? If you don't understand, how do you sell things to them? Why do I drink hot coffee and you are drinking an iced coffee?
You drink black, I drink with susu.
Right. So there must be something. So I have to understand why, right? Then only I can sell both types of coffee. So I sell all kind of coffee. I sell black coffee, 2-in-1, 3-in-1.
Milo pun jual
3-in-1 pun saya jual. Kalau ada 4-in-1 esok pun kita jual. Tongkat Ali pun saya jual. Whatever you want, because we cater for our customers. So I think it's important that each one caters. But end of the day, does your son come back to you? Does he salam you? Even in a hospital, is he the first one who comes and visit you? Does he call you every day? I think these are important.
But your sons call you every day, or you call your wife?
Both of us.
Oh wow.
Both of us. Of course, you call his mother. I mean, I think somehow children tend to call the mother.
Yeah.
I think somehow that is that thing with the parents.
Dengan mak ni senang sikit nak call.
Maybe father ni kata, apa ni? That one when he was younger lah.
But then when you're around, then they pass the phone.
No, but because we work, my wife is different floor, I'm a different floor, so they kena call us. Analis kat rumah kan. But they visit almost every day. Almost every day, every other day. I think this is important. So to me, children, you bring them up, you teach them the right thing, the right values. then let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
I think that is a very powerful message, Datuk. Because I think
Very
a
nice song also, Let It Go.
No, because a lot of parents, I think they want the kids to be exactly of macam mana yang they imagine the kids to be.
You know, because they want to, they are seeing, sometimes it's not what they see. Apa orang kata nanti? I think your question is exactly the same thing. Apa orang kata nanti? Don't you worry about what people say? You know what? I don't. I've outgrown this worrying about what people say.
Yeah, as long as they're good to me.
I think as long as they're good people, let it go. You know, because there are a lot of good people. You know, I don't believe in so many things that people say. You know, you do this, then you're not a good Muslim. You do this, you're a bad Muslim. You know, I think our ulama sometimes the messages are sometimes contradicting anyway. I think you believe in good things. You do good things. You do good for the people. You know, and God take care of the rest.
Are you proud of your kids, Datuk?
Very proud, obviously, because they're successful in their own way. I'm very proud because they never use the father's name.
They use the father's money?
No, they do their own. They lose money. I thought the kids, one thing is that please make sure pay your debts. I think my son.
So when they started, you didn't help them also?
No, because it's their own. They do their own thing. You know, I help them in terms
Moral support.
Help them in terms of coming and say, hey, I want to do this. Where do you think I can rent tents? You know, hey, where can I rent aircon? And I say, well, you tahu tak siapa? You know, I say, hold on, I think we also do this for our event. Maybe this person can do better. But now, terbalik pula.
You pula tanya dia?
I kena tanya dia. I kena tanya dia. Hey, where is the cheapest canopy doing an event? You know, I tell my people, you call Iqbal lah. That guy does more event than we do. He probably know who's the better supplier. You know, kita kadang nak aircon tu kan, yang portable aircon lah, this and that. Sometimes we do event kan. Kata, you ask him lah. You know, sometimes kita pinjam dengan dia pula. Because he has got those barricades. Sometimes kita nak pinjam kan. So kita pinjam kat dia. But he charges for it.
Dengan bapak pun charge.
I think which is fair. Which is fair.
I'm sure bapak also would charge him.
Yeah, and even my my daughter-in-law also is successful in his own right. So then kita hantar our she's in PR, so we send our PR press release. I just send, boleh baca sikit tak, you know, more of because young people, they have their way of looking. Because they are out there. So they have a better feel of the market than I have here. So sometimes their advice is very useful because they know the brand and they give good advice. And of course, bring children, they want the best for the family. So we take their advice that way. People believe what they want to believe. To me, everything that we have, hard work, not by me, by the family. Okay. And by my staff. I got staff that been working for me for 20 years, 30 years. You'll be shocked. The people have been with me. There are people who have been with me when I started in Masjid India, in Selayang, you know. They're still with me. They have left me and they have come back. You see? So, people, the staff, I think are very important. You know, you always have the core team. I mean, people come and go, people. You have the core who trust you and who are willing to die for you. I have staff who have left us and, you know, still sending messages. You know, saya tengok kat social media ni tak ada orang jawab lah. Tengok sikit. So they still remember us, concerned. Your people are not replying lah. There's something not good so on the social media. You know, kenapa tak jawab? You know, but back to social media again. Of course, tak payah jawab semua yang tak baik. You know, you don't highlight things unnecessarily because there's always somebody commenting. You know, every time you see something Mydin, you kata, alah Mydin, you know, macam ni. People will say things what they want to say because
Datuk Mydin tak apalah, dia orang kaya. Boleh lah sembang macam ni. That's a lot of people say that, right?
People say, I think important is you just do the right thing. Do the right thing. Do good things. People say they have nothing better to do, seriously. You know? And like I said just now, I stopped many of this, thinking of what people think. Do what you think is right, more important, you know. Anak you tak buat ni, you tak pergi sini, do you have to go for this, you know. What will people think? I think we should forget about what will people think. You know, I think you do what you think is right, you know. I'm sure you talk to your parents about it, seek their advice because they are in similar thing. But end of the day, you decide. Say, I want to do it this way, you know, and then you go ahead and do it. You see, I mean, I came for this, nothing to do with your father, your mother. You know, you WhatsApp to me. I said, ask my people, siapa ni? Kata, no, doing this thing, young people. You know, I do things a lot for young people. So I want to support the young people, the young entrepreneurs, you know. So I'm here not because of your father. I mean, I hardly know your father. I don't even know him. Met him once or twice, social gathering. Hi, Datuk. I obviously don't know your mother. You know, I know her as a brand, as a good person, or CSR. But that's it. But you message, I came.
Thank you so much, Datuk.
Because to me, I go for a lot of things, especially when people are trying to grow a business. I think it's important that people like us who have made it to a certain extent, Syukur Alhamdulillah, try to support the younger generation and let them make their mark. And if you in any small way can help, why not? Why not? If you can help, why not? I mean, and what do we ask from return from you? Nothing. Just a cup of coffee is fine. Esok belanja makan roti canai pun dah cukup dah. That's all. Kita nak doa je.
So thank you so much, Datuk. I think I pun terharu jugalah, Datuk. So easily to cakap yes untuk datang. Of course, I punya experience buat benda ni, boleh cakap dengan businessman not as easy, especially at your level kan. You have to go through a lot of processes. But then I think with you, I pun rasa very honoured and juga berbesar hati lah Datuk actually said yes and came over kan, Datuk. Alright, Datuk. I think before we end, I just want to talk a bit about your family, Datuk. Kan, macam mana Mydin ni, of course, the business ni adalah family punya legacy dan juga family punya business. Isn't it difficult to manage that? Because nanti family ada perasaan kecil hati, ada perasaan macam-macam apa semua kan. How do you manage that?
I think it's a very good question because it's memang difficult to manage. Very difficult to manage. I think you have one leader. And I'm lucky that I have an elder brother who let me lead. He only advised. He advises, stay in the back. My other siblings or my other brothers are also okay. Dia tak tu sangat. Okay. So important is one leader. I think the second thing is that you divide in terms of what they do. So my elder brother does certain things. My younger brother I do different things. In that way, you don't get into each other's way. They do their thing, and I'm sure you think they are responsible. Same thing as my brother's son who are in the business. They do their thing. We have what we call cabinet meeting every Friday morning. Where all of us sit down and go through issues, challenges, cash flow, and decisions. Or kita nak buka sini ke tak nak buka ke, major challenges. All of us sit together and go through this. So in that way, you are able to manage. And I see it's very important that you pay people same salaries, give them the independence. They also must punch card. They also must ask for leave. You know what? It's unbelievable that we have a WhatsApp group that even my nephew must say, I'm on leave today. I'm going to Selayang tomorrow. That much control, you know. I think bukan kita nak control sangat.
You just want to be aware.
So that all of us know what is happening. But also for responsibility. That they say, he's working, you know. Kata, mana budak ni? Budak-budak sekarang tak nampak muka pun, you know. Whatever it is. Daripada you terfikir those kind of thoughts that come to you kan. You have this technology now, WhatsApp lah, this and that, work chat, WeChat, whatever. So you can put it in and we know where you are. Kadang kita nak contact, we have work to do. And you also sometimes save cost. I'm going to airport tomorrow morning. I'm going also. Where are you going? Pergilah sekali. Pergilah sekali. At least can cerita sekali balik kan. That kind of thing. But I think it's important. Family is important. And how you manage this. Seriously. One is that we all stay in Bangsa. Except one of my nephews stays in One Utama. Semua duduk kat Bangsa tau. So it is very close tau. Nak makan, brother's birthday lah, ni lah, mamak panggil, WhatsApp aja, siapa-siapa ada datang. Because you are very nearby. You duduk kat Ampang, nak pergi kat Subang, people tend not to come. So we as a family decided early enough that the children also stay in Bangsa. Even my son beli rumah pun kat Bangsa juga. And I insisted, although that time he was saying, rumah kat mana lah, lagi murah lah. You know, I said, no, I tell you, you stay in Bangsa. You know, because I think it's important. And now I'm sure he realizes how important it is. Because kadang-kadang kata, kalau panggil mak dia, I cannot pick up my kids. Can you go and pick up my kids? You know, I'm on my way home. I'll pick her up or whatever. So these small things matters.
Life much easier lah.
Much easier, and sometimes, and you also bring the family together and closer, because seriously, every other 2-3 days ada je kat rumah mak saya semua orang. Half the family is always there. Somebody coming down, one relative is here, siapa datang makan lah. Makan semua datang. You know, but it's not the food itself, but at least coming. So I think this put the family closer. Stay near, stay together, stay away in your own houses, obviously. Have your own mates, you know, but in the same place nearby. I think it's very important.
And Datuk, daripada tadi I heard you talking about your wife a lot. Kan? So how instrumental is your wife to your success today?
100%.
100%.
If didn't have my wife, I don't think I'd be this successful, seriously. Because I think her understanding, her presence, letting it go, let me be what I want to be, what I want to do. She gives her opinion, of course, because she's a socialist. Kalau boleh nak bagi semua orang gaji naik, tenang aja, you know. Which is why it's okay, fine, you want a wife with that kind of heart. Of course, she's a
nice, good heart lah.
A good heart. Selalu nak tolong orang, you know. But the support is very important. And many of my overseas trips, she comes along. When I was much younger, probably not, because I think we couldn't afford it. Nowadays, in most of my trips, if I do a more than 2 days trip, I rindu sangat.
So I tengok everything yang mesti Datuk akan cakap pasal your wife. I saw some of your interviews, even your SME Jiwaku punya talk apa semua, and you talk about your wife so much that I feel like macam satu I rasa so sweet lah Datuk ni kan. Macam I wish that I pun, hopefully in 30 years time I dengan my wife pun as sweet lah.
Start now
kan. But I think for us now okay lah Datuk, muda lagi kan. But for someone that has been married for 30 years, 44 years and still keeping the sayang, you know. Still.
I think it grows stronger seriously over the years. I don't know how strong it was before. I don't think it was as strong. But now you miss your wife more than before. Seriously. And that strength, I think, is because how your wife take care of you, treats you. Take care of you, take care ni bukan bagi masak, makan or whatever. But seriously, she cook things that I like. She sometimes doesn't like. But that's the difference. Dia masak, I kata, you tak makan ni kan? But you like it, right? So that's the difference, right? So she's always thinking
about you.
And then you also reciprocate. You know, any trip she goes overseas, or even when I go overseas, she comes to the airport, and I go to the airport to send her. Bila kita balik pun, we go to the airport to pick the person up.
Oh, even until today,
Even until today.
Even how busy you are also.
Make the time. I think people have these excuses, I'm so busy, you know. But I think make the time. I think it is wrong to say that you're busy for your wife, for your family, or for your children. Because I think all of us have the time. And you notice, seriously, people who are busier make more time than people who are not so busy. People who are busier don't say I have no time.
Yep.
I mean, you WhatsApp to me. I know I had to reschedule once or twice, but still we make the time because we think it's important. If it's important to you, make the time. And I think one thing that good thing about my wife, seriously, and I think I'm not a marriage counselor, but should do it that when I come back from work, dah balik pergi mandi, dah pakai, she will come and sit down next to me and talk, bercerita. So you listen to what she wants to say for the day. You tell your story of the day. That 15 minutes, that half an hour can go to 2 hours, But that is important, that sharing of that moment. Give the person the time of the day. And
Quality time lah.
Quality time. And every time, you don't have to ask my wife, I tell you what she wants. You say, hey, your wife's birthday, what are you going to give your wife? I don't even have to ask her. I know what she wants. Her answer is always TIME.
Time.
Give me time. That's all. And I think time is the most valuable thing that you can give to someone. Not necessarily your wife, even your friends. Even to you. The most valuable thing, what can I give you? You say, hey, can I give you a diamond watch? You said, it's okay. I don't need a diamond watch. Can you give me your time? Can you come to my podcast for an hour? You see? That's what people want. And I think that's the most valuable asset that one has. And don't forget, time stops for no one.
Yep.
It's gone, it's gone.
Kan? Amazing, Datuk. I just have last 2 questions. Tapi soalan ni off the cuff sikit lah. I just terfikir tadi I nak tanya lah. Number 1, I nak tanya, how much is Mydin worth? Ataupun how much is the revenue for Mydin per year, Datuk?
I mean, revenue is public knowledge. We do about $3.5 billion sales. 3.5 billion sales per year.
3.5 billion?
Sales, bukan untung
Yeah,
sales.
still it's huge.
Yeah, it is okay. We are one of the largest hypermarket operator in Malaysia.
3.5 billion, Datuk?
Well, there are some who are doing 4, some are doing 4.5. So,
Wow.
so we are okay lah.
That one is unexpected lah. I didn't know that Mydin was that huge.
Boleh lah cari makan.
Oh, besar betul tu. Patutlah Tok cerita loss 5 juta macam tak ada apa-apa sangat.
Tak ada. Loss is still a loss. Every cent is a loss. But I think we have achieved a certain size. Syukur-Alhamdulillah. But it's not overnight. It's the last. We are just celebrated our 67th anniversary, 66th anniversary. So it's been there for a long time.
66 years,
Yeah. So it's a long time.
Merdeka.
Sama Merdeka lah. 1957 kan. Yeah. So it takes time. But that is.
Wow, that's huge lah tu. That's something yang I think for young people yang tengah tengok ni, I think that is something that they can inspire ataupun aspiration lah to grow. I never knew that local punya business can grow that big. I mean, I'm just being honest with you lah kan. I didn't know that. Lagi-lagi kedai runcit lah, orang kata kedai runcit dulu kan, boleh grow to 3.5 billion starting from just a small kedai kayu. And today,
oh yeah, I remember when my brother in Terengganu used to do the business. I used to go kadang-kadang berjaga kedai. Perniagaan dia RM100 sehari, RM50 sehari. Oi, today we did $100. That's big those days. But now, syukur Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, okay. There's other question tu. I minta maaf dululah. Mungkin dia tak sesuai sikit tanya. Tapi I just teringin nak tahu berapa gaji yang Datuk dengan adik-beradik lain ambil tu.
Oh, of course, it's very sensitive.
That's why selalu orang tak tanya.
But I mean, number I cannot give you obviously because it would not be right. But it's enough. It's enough to keep us comfortable.
Maybe boleh jawab puluhan ke, ratusan ke, jutaan ke?
Tak ada juta-juta. Tak ada juta-juta. It's just, I think we take what is fair. We don't really pay ourselves too high. We are not one of the ones.
But do you pay dividends? After profit?
We used to last time, but after making this kind of losses, I don't think the bank will allow us to pay dividend. But we shouldn't pay dividend because you have to cover your losses. I mean, because you can always go and declare dividend if you want, but we don't because you have made losses. I think you should cover those losses. See, you must remember. I mean, we borrow a lot of money, but it's on our personal guarantee. A lot of our borrowing is our guarantee. Bukan dengan cagaran property tau. It's on our personal guarantee. So we have a lot of heavy responsibility that we do that. But then I always tell the banks that if I can't sign a guarantee, then you shouldn't lend the money, isn't it? If I myself tak berani, takkan you pula nak berani dengan duit you kan? So you must be berani lah. I mean, you are borrowing money. You sign a guarantee for it. I mean, why not? I asked the bank tak minta bagi. I kata, kenapa tak minta I mean, if I don't trust, then you shouldn't trust either. That's important. I mean, I must be there, right? I must be there for it. That's important lah.
Okay, Datuk, thank you so much, Datuk, for all your sharings and your wisdom, Datuk. Maybe just last couple of words for the viewers out there before we end.
No, I think don't worry too much. Don't seriously. I think people worry too much. Worry too much in this world. What happened if? What happened if? Don't worry so much. Be positive. Be positive. Trust in yourself and trust your guts. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I think all of us have something unique to give to the world. I'm sure all of us have some unique thing that you can give to the world. Maybe it's today, maybe it's 10 years down the road, maybe when you're 80 years old. Only God knows better, right? But you work towards what you like to do, your passion. Work hard. I think don't worry about money too much. I think people worry too much about money. Just work hard, do the right thing. Money will come to you definitely. Fame will come to you with the right TikTok, But it will come to you when the time is right. Work honestly, work hard, help people. Help. I think helping people is very, very important in any small way. Because I think it not only helps someone, but I think that help also makes you feel better as a person. When you feel better as a person, then you become a better person. And when you become a better person, then you become more successful because you're happy. It's very difficult to be successful when you're not happy. Because success is not only in money, right? Success is actually happiness. You must be happy, with what you have. You must be able to manage what you have. And only a successful person in all spectrum can do this. So be positive lah. And Malaysia is a good place. Don't run away.
Alright. So thank you so much, Datuk. I think it's been a huge honor for me to listen to your story and to get a lot of wisdom from out of you kan. So thank you so much also for your time. And I hope that Mydin sendiri akan menjadi lebih besar dan lebih berjaya lagi, insyaAllah.
Amin.
Hopefully one day, when I interview your anak buah pula, maybe at that time Mydin would be worth 30 over billion pula. We never know kan. So
InsyaAllah.
I hope that you become you continue juga untuk buat kebaikan. And I have to thank you juga for doing so much benda baik. Kan banyak sangat orang nampak benda yang you tolong, especially during COVID punya time. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here and thank you for inspiring all of us.
Thank you for having me. Assalamualaikum.
Assalam. Thank you so much.